Hello and welcome to the 30k channel, a channel dedicated to games set in the Horus Heresy. I'm your host as always, David Brains, and I've been joined by second timer, Johnny. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Great to have you back.
Thank you very much. Great to be back.
Awesome. And we have Rob. Good morning.
Cheers for the invite. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, it's really great to have these guys here. The morning has been extremely lively, is all I'm going to say, hasn't it?
Peaceful.
Oh my word.
Small action.
No matter how the games go, it will be an exciting day. I can guarantee you that much. What have we got? We've got World Eaters.
Yeah, best traitor legion.
Led by...
Delvarus.
Oh, he's a beast, isn't he?
Favourite character from Betrayal.
Yeah.
Listened to the book about probably 15 times
Okay.
last year. It's definitely my favourite book.
You enjoy it?
Yeah. I mean, World Eaters for me are a great legion because I love gladiators and I love that film.
Okay.
And yeah, they're just mental geezers.
They look great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Bit of conversion work. They look cool. We love them.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole patchwork armour from them instead of being a whole, like, Blood Angels or the Emperor's Children are always pristine and
Absolutely.
clean. I just love the fact they don't really care. They just want to get in,
Get stuck in.
get chain X in.
Love it. And Johnny, you brought your awesome White Scars back.
Yeah, well, this is quite a different army to the one I brought before. The one I brought before is Chigoran Brotherhood. Everything had wheels. It was all bikes or assault bikes or flyers. So this is all infantry now. So it's the Sagar Mazan, which is a Shattered Legion force. So the main force is obviously the White Scars, but they've gone with their old allies, the Lunar Wolves. So so I've got some loyalist Lunar Wolves in my army as well.
Definitely the first time we've had Lunar Wolves on the channel, so they look really cool. You know, you forget that they had white armour and the wolf kind of heraldry and stuff, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I really wanted to experiment with a different type of white. So my White Scars are the cool blue white, and the Lunar Wolves obviously a bit similar to your World Eaters. They're the grey white, you know. So yeah, it's a bit of a different challenge for me to paint that brand of white.
Yeah. Hopefully we can tell the difference. We've got two white armies on the board, so hopefully we'll be able to sort it out. But I think due to fantastic description and direction, we will get it, won't we?
Mine's the cooler way.
Love it.
Come at me, bro.
It's been a wild morning, I'm not going to lie. Now, we're playing Zon Mortalis. We haven't done Zon Mortalis for a little while, but this is the last film or last game with the old Forge World Zon Mortalis board, sad face. But there is a new one in the works. So we've got the new Necromunda stuff, and that will be coming in the next 3 months, maybe. But you get the final hurrah, gents. That's quite an opportunity, I think, maybe. Yeah?
Privilege.
I always kept looking at it on Forge World, but I just couldn't justify the price. When I get to play on it.
There you go. Making dreams happen. Love it. So what we've got for you is we've got a bit of amalgamation from a normal 30k mission and the Zon Mortalis stuff. We didn't think of a decent name in the end, could we? I mean, data capture.
Yeah.
Jinx. So what we've got is each of the armies have got a little tech priest. A little tech priest has been assigned to the Legion, and it's his job to access one of four or all four of the four computer consoles in the Zon Mortalis complex. If you do that, you score it just like you would do a normal mission at the beginning of the game. You score 2 victory points, so 8 points up for grabs potentially. It's pretty good. They can operate independently, and they are essentially a Space Marine stat, so you can kill them. And if you kill them, 2 victory points, which will play into your hand, no doubt. Just chop people in half, you know.
I can kill stuff too.
You can. That's true. You can attach a melter bomb to it. You've got tons.
Set out half the heresy not knowing what to do.
We knew exactly what we were doing. Just didn't want to get involved.
Exactly.
Other points available are moving swiftly along. Warlord, attrition, and kill points. There are a ton of points. So if you don't manage your primary objective, you can go for the secondaries. Johnny, talk to me about your game a little bit. Tell me what's going to happen.
I'm going to run away.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not even going to joke. He's got a lot of chain axes. They're going to hurt a lot of my stuff. And yeah, I'm going to pick my battles carefully. I'm going to try and get at least 2, if not 3, of the computer terminals.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm going to kite his dreadnoughts around into kill zones. Maybe get some rear armor shots on. Maybe lead him down paths where he can't go. Basically, be tricksy is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and if we look at your deployment, you've already started an objective, so 2 points beginning of your turn, which is great. And then you've also infiltrated 2 units into the guts of the board, essentially, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm winning from the beginning.
Yes.
2 victory points straight off the bat.
Oof.
Winning. And then I've redeployed my Falcon's Claws into the middle of the board, away from a Dreadnought with a Flamestorm cannon. Who brings a Flamestorm cannon? And then I've got my veterans protecting the flank on the other side of the board as well. So when my reserves come in on this side, I'm going to have some shenanigans about where I'm going to deploy them. Both the units coming in have jump packs, so they should be able to get around the board pretty quickly, although I will be taking dangerous terrain tests if I go over 6 inches with those guys.
Correct.
Using their packs.
But I think it's a really key point. Your support elements have those jump packs, and they will be able to get further into the game as if they're walking on the other side of the board. So that's a really key point there, I think.
Yeah, exactly. White Scars, their warfare is all based around manoeuvrability, and so that's what I'm hoping to do.
Looks great. World Eaters, what's the plan?
As if we can't guess.
Kill stuff.
I would like to try and be tactical as much as I can as a World Eater, but everyone knows their strength is in their attacks and on the charge.
Yeah.
Which is why I took the Zone Mortalis Rite of War to give my breaches just that extra help, because of where I've gone for Delvaris and his Triari boarding specialist.
Okay.
Just fitted in with their theme. So hopefully my dreads will they'll be the anvil of my force to try and actually burn him and punch him off the board.
This sounds like actual tactics.
Come through.
This sounds like actual tactics.
Quite insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Where's the crazy just run forward and chop stuff up?
Are you worried?
To be different.
Are you worried about the Dreadnoughts though? Because you've got melter bombs.
I've got a way to deal with them, but the way I have to deal with them is with melter bombs, so it's sacrificial. So if I charge a Dreadnought, I'm going to suffer from the Overwatch.
Yeah.
Of course, with the Cold Void rules. So there's be reaction fire roll. Good chance of getting that off. So I'll lose maybe one or two, or quite a few actually, to the Flamestorm cannon. But then I attack with melter bombs. So I'll basically swap out a unit. I'll take a Dreadnought out, and Rob's Dreadnought should probably take out the unit that assaulted it. So it would be a 1-for-1 swap. So I'm going to have to try and engineer those exchanges on my terms.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's really key. When you play Zone Mortalis, you need to dictate the order of play, because if not, you'll get pulled apart very quickly. Yeah. And I think it will be very key about how you kind of lure those Dreadnoughts down those corridors. You've got to mitigate that by not getting yourself kind of knocked in. But you know all that, so it's cool. I have to say, both armies look fantastic on the board. I mean, when they meet in the middle at some point during today, I think there'll be a fantastic clash between the two. So, gents, thank you so much for bringing your armies down and the effort you've put in. So, I really appreciate it. We're going to go straight into the lists, have a look at those. The White Scars have deployed first and are going first.
You've yet to
unless you want to seize.
Let's try.
No, we should have been a bit more prepared. We did this last time by having a dice, but we have an assistant somewhere that can hand us a dice. Bit of bad planning on my part, I apologise. So we're going to go for a seize. Good luck. It's 2. So the White Scars will go first. We'll see at the beginning of turn 1.
The Lawless Force of 1,250 points, White Scars, running the Sagar Mazan Rite of War with Lunar Wolf allies. Leading the White Scars is a Delegatus, and he has the Master of Ambush Warlord trait. A Delegatus leads the White Scars. He has Artificer Armour, a Mastercrafted Power Glaive, and Melter Bombs, and a Combat Shield. Leading the Lunar Wolves is a Legion Champion with Artificer Armour, a Mastercrafted Paragon Blade, Melter Bombs, Jump Pack, and Combat Shield. In the Elites, we have 10 Destroyers. 2 are carrying missile launchers with Suspensor Webs and Rad missiles, Melter Bombs and Jump Packs. The Sergeant leading this unit has Artificer Armour and a Phosphex Bomb. The second elite unit for the White Scars are 7 veteran Space Marines. They have the Machine Killer trait. 4 have combi weapons with plasmas underslung of their bolters. They all carry Melter Bombs, and 1 Marine carries a Melter Gun. The Veteran Sergeant has Artificer Armour and a Volkite Serpentor. In the troop section, 10 Assault Marines. These are Lunar Wolves. 2 have power weapons, and the unit is led by an Assault Sergeant with Artificer Armour and a Power Fist, and Melter Bombs and a Combat Shield. In the fast attack slot are 10 Falcon's Claws. 5 have power weapons and bolt pistols. They'll all be carrying power axes. 4 have pairs of Lightning Claws, and the Sergeant has a Lightning Claw and a Thunder Hammer and a Cyberhawk.
1,250 points of Traitor World Eaters, led by Delvaris. Rite of War is Zone Mortalis Assault, and Delvaris' Warlord trait is Immovable Object. Leading the World Eaters is Praetor Delvaris. He's armed with Artificer armor, digital lasers, iron halo, mastercrafted a single weapon, and a paragon blade. First and second elite slots are Contemptor Dreadnought, armed with dual fists and plasma blasters. Second is a Dreadnought with Flamestorm Cannon and a Heavy Flamer. Next up in the elites is a Veteran Tactical Squad. 3 are armed with Combi Plasma, and a Sergeant's armed with a power weapon. Final elite choice is an Apothecary, Bare Bones. An Apothecary will be joining the Breachers. First troop choice is a 15-man tactical squad, all armed with chain axes. Sergeant has a power axe. Last troop choice is a 15-man Breacher squad, 3 melter guns. Sergeant is armed with a power fist and melter bombs.
White Scars turn 1 movement phase. The Falcon's Claws have moved into a small room, and the veterans with the Delegatus have consolidated their position further along the board. At the beginning of the first turn, the White Scar Datasmith secures 2 victory points by downloading the data from the terminal on the southeast part of the board.
World Eater's movement turn 1. Dreadnought's moved up, open the door to try and set up a little ambush with the Flamestorm Cannon. Tactical Squad has moved up to try and secure the data computer. World Eater's turn 1 shooting phase. I ran the Dreadnought, luckily rolled a 6. The Datasmith rolled 4 inches, moved him up through the squad to get him closer to the computer to secure him 2 points.
White Scars turn 2 movement. Reserves have arrived. The White Scar destroyers have arrived on the board, and also accompanied by the Lunar Wolf Assault Squad. In the centre of the board, the Falcon Claws have maintained their position in the middle of the board, and the veterans have moved up with the Delegatus across to the northwest of the table. The Datasmith has moved off his now defunct computer terminal, looking for his next sapping of information. At the end of the movement phase, the Lunar Wolves and the Destroyers required to take dangerous terrain tests for moving over 6 inches using their jump packs. Unfortunately, one of the Lunar Wolves fell over and hurt his shin and will play no part in the game again. White Scar turn 2 shooting phase. The veterans have stayed where they are, guarding that middle ground, as have the Falcon's Claws. The Datasmith has run to its next door, trying to get onto that next data terminal, hopefully in turn 3. And the Lunar Wolves and the Destroyers have run further into the board as well.
World Eater's turn 2 movement. Vets successfully rolled and come on. Goal is to get into a decent shooting position with their combi plasmas, try and take out the Destroyers or the Assault Marines, should they want to get anywhere near me. Legion Dread has moved back through the door to try and get closer to the Scouts and Praetor. Tactical Squad moves up further, so the Datasmith can secure them 2 points further into the following turn. Contemptor, Breachers, Delvarus and the Apothecary all come on the same edge, with the objective to try and move round on that left flank to try and secure the middle. World Eater's turn 2 shooting phase. Of course, everything run. Vets moved up 6 inches, had to be stopped by the door. Legion Dread moved up 2, managed to get a 3 for the tacticals, so again they've moved up. Breachers rolled a 6, but obviously 5, and then Contemptor's moved up just to try and get further around that left flank.
White Scar turn 3 movement phase. The veterans have given up some ground to the impending doom, which is the Flamestorm Cannon toting Dreadnought. On the middle of the field, the Datasmith has gone through one of the doors and gone in contact with the second data terminal. The Falcon's Claws have then closed the door behind him, making sure he's a bit safer. And at the southern end of the board, the Lunar Wolves have seen the threat of the World Eater veterans and are moving to engage them, but the Destroyers are moving to support the Falcons in the middle of the game board. White Scar turn 3 shooting phase. The only shooting to go on is the Destroyers running a whole 1 inch further in support of the Falcon's Claws, and the Lunar Wolves running 6 inches closing with the World Eater vets.
Turn 3 World Eaters movement. The tactical squad has detached itself from the Data Smith so he can secure them to victory points. The Legion Dread has moved up to secure the corridor away from the White Scar Scouts. The Veterans have moved up 6 inches through to try and secure that middle corridor along with the Dread. The Contemptor and Breachers again on the left flank have just moved their full movement that they can onto shooting phase. World Eaters shooting phase turn 3. Contemptor and Breachers moved up on their run moves at their full speed. Tactical squad was able to run 6 inches, but I didn't elect to do it in the end because I didn't want to leave myself out to be shot by the White Scar vets. Legion Dreadnought stayed there. Veteran squad rolled a beautiful 6 and moved up into that corridor. World Eaters turn 3 assault phase. Dreadnought assaulted the massive door, punched it, absolutely obliterated it with his fist, ready to barbecue some White Scars.
White Scars turn 4 movement phase. The Veterans have stayed still awaiting the oncoming horde of World Eaters. The Data Smith has moved off his objective where he scored 2 victory points at the beginning of the turn and moved towards the last remaining data center, ready to swipe that data. The Falcon's Claws have moved closer to the Box Dreadnought with the idea of assaulting it. A bit of a suicide run there. The Destroyers are moving around the corner of the stanchion to get within striking distance of the Veterans supporting the Box Dread. And on this bottom corner, the Lunar Wolves are moving to engage the other end of the World Eaters in the back. White Scars turn 4 shooting phase. The Lunar Wolves have run 5 inches closer to the back of the World Eater Veterans, and the Destroyers have also run 5 inches closer to engage their enemy. White Scars turn 4 assault phase. The Falcon's Claws have assaulted the World Eater Boxnaut, who overwatched with its Flamestorm cannon, killing 2 Falcon's Claws, and again with its Heavy Flamer killing a further 1. However, the successful charge means I'm going to melt bomb this thing to death.
Dreadnought initiative 4-step, rolled 3 dice, missed 2, and completely failed to wound with the single attack.
At the initiative 1 step, the Falcon Claw Sergeant swung with his 4 attacks with his Thunderhammer. However, he fails to hit at all. The remaining 6 Falcons then planted 6 melter bombs on the Dreadnought. 1 scored a hit, which then penetrated, and the roll on the damage table was a 6, so the Dreadnought blew up. The detonation had a radius of 2 inches, and the Falcon Claws were 2 less when the dust had settled. At the end of the assault phase, the Falcon Claws consolidated 3 inches in reverse.
World Eaters movement at turn 4. The left flank Contemptor and Breachers have moved up their full. Tactical squad in the middle have moved up, opened the door to try and get the Data Smith in to secure that 2 points victory objective and hopefully get a very long charge off. Veterans have moved up in front of the Falcon squads to hopefully fire off some shots and get a decent assault in to try and win back some points. World Eaters turn 4 shooting phase. The vets opened up with their bolt pistols, firing all 5, hitting with 2 and killing 2 of the scouts. The tactical squad made a run move of 3 inches and moved up to secure that corridor in a hope of charging next turn. The Data Smith moved up only 1 inch. The Breachers and Contemptor both moved in their running in their full movement speed. World Eaters turn 4 assault phase, declared their assault on the scouts. The scouts reacted well and passed their initiative test, threw a crack grenade and unfortunately took out the sergeant. They then failed their leadership due to shroud bombs and failed to charge the White Scar scouts.
White Scar turn 5 movement phase. The veterans have moved forward to engage the World Eater TAC Marine squad. The Datasmith has moved up to the door, keeping it closed to protect himself. The Falcons, the Destroyers, and the Lunar Wolves have encircled the World Eater veterans to take them out of the game. One Destroyer died, having failed his dangerous terrain test for using his jump pack over 6 inches. White Scar turn 5 shooting started with the veteran squad shooting at the World Eaters in front of them. The Delegatus started the shooting with his Volkite Serpenta. The White Scars with the Comboplaz all opened up with their plasma weaponry. The Melter Gun also opened up, and the Squad Sergeant opened up as well with his Combi Bolter. Eventually, due to the Cold Void rules and very good rolling, ended up killing 9 World Eaters. Shooting continues for the White Scars with the Falcon's Claws throwing a crack grenade, the Destroyers shooting with their gunslinging bolt pistols, and the Lunar Wolves also bolt pistoling into the World Eater veterans, taking down 2 of their number, resulting in a failed morale test, so they fled 3 inches away from battle. White Scar assault phase, the Falcons charge into the retreating World Eaters, who manage to pass a leadership test and receive the charge. However, they're not allowed to overwatch.
Initiative 4-step, World Eaters veterans struck out with 6 attacks, hitting with 5, wounding and killing 2 scouts in the process.
At the initiative 4-step on the White Scar side, the Falcon's Claw armed with lightning claws managed to strike back, cutting down both of the World Eaters. The White Scar Sergeant decided discretion is a better part of valor and retreated away from the World Eaters, moving to protect the Datasmith in the middle of the board.
World Eaters turn 5 movement phase. The Breachers have moved to the right to try and get through the doors closer to the White Scars. The Dreadnought has also moved round the left flank in hope of charging the Bulkhead to try and get closer to the White Scars in the corridor. The Tactical Squad have moved up in hopes of charging and claiming some kills back. World Eaters turn 5 shooting phase. The Breachers have moved 5 inches to try and get closer to the battle in the middle. The Tactical Squad have selected not to shoot in order to get a closer charge range in the assault phase. And the Datasmith has moved up 4 inches to try and secure the 2 victory points next turn. World Eaters turn 5 assault phase. The Contemptor selected to assault the Bulkhead. It was a massive 12 inches and he completely failed the charge range. The Tactical Squad that was elected to charge the White Scar Vets lost a single man to the Overwatch and completely fluffed their charge range.
White Scars turn 6 movement phase. The veterans have moved forward to engage the remainder of the World Eater Tactical Squad. The Datasmith has stayed behind the door, keeping safe. The lone remaining Falcon's Claw Sergeant also remaining still. The Lunar Wolves have moved up, hopefully to engage the rear of the same TAC squad, and the Destroyers will play no further part in this game as they're too far out to engage. White Scar shooting phase. The veterans opened up at the World Eater Tactical Marines. The Melter Gunner slagged 1 Marine, but the bolt pistols and the Volkite Serpenta from the Delegatus failed to do any further damage. White Scar's assault phase. The veterans charged into the World Eater TAC Marines. The World Eaters managed to pass their Overwatch initiative test and shot at full ballistic skill, killing the first 2 veterans. The charge, however, was successful, and the assault phase will ensue. At the initiative 5-step, the Delegatus swung his mastercrafted Power Glaive with 4 attacks, 3 hitting and 3 wounding, meaning 3 World Eater TAC Marines died. At the initiative 4-step, the World Eater TAC Marine swung with 2 attacks, failing to hit. The White Scar veterans then struck with 20 attacks, wounding many times, including 1 rend. Therefore, the squad of World Eaters is no more. The White Scars consolidated to move to accept the inevitable charge of the wave of World Eater breaches with Delvarus. This is the end of the active game for the White Scars. We've done all we can to secure as much data as we can. Now we just have to try to survive the onslaught.
So the end turn movement for the World Eaters. The Datasmith was unfortunately unable to get anywhere near the console to secure the further 2 objectives. The Breachers have moved up to work out their charge and hopefully get a challenge in and slain the Delegatus. World Eaters turn 6 assault phase. The Breachers made a massive charge distance, losing 1 in the process to Overwatch. Delvaris issued a challenge to the White Scar Delegatus, who accepted, and now we'll move on to Initiative 5 step.
Initiative Step 5, the White Scar accepted the challenge from Delvaris with the Delegatus. He swung two-handed with his master-crafted power glaive, taking a wound off Delvaris.
Delvaris shot back with 6 attacks, 5 hit, re-rolling 1 of the master-crafted Paragon Blade, causing 2 wounds and eventually killing the Delegatus.
Right.
At the Initiative 4 step, the White Scar veterans struck with their close combat weapons. With 15 attacks, they scored 10 hits, 2 of which rendered and 4 other wounds, only resulting in 1 dead World Eater Breacher.
World Eaters turn 6 assault with the Breachers and the veteran White Scars. They attacked the White Scars with 18 attacks, hitting 6, and then killing 1 in the issuing wounding rolls. At the end of World Eaters turn 6 assault phase, the World Eaters have won combat by 1 wound, thanks to Delvaris killing the Delegatus. But unfortunately, with the White Scars special rule, Serpent's Eye, they are fearless and the combat continues. But now it's the end of the game, and we will go back and point up the victory points.
That was it. The White Scars have taken on the World Eaters in Zone Mortalis, and the results are pretty conclusive, aren't they?
They are.
We will dig straight into it before we go into the game. The World Eaters have managed to score 2 victory points by way of capturing the data with their Datasmith. They've scored 1 point for kill point. We're going to come back to that in a second. And then 2 points for Warlord, and another one because he's a Delegatus.
Yeah.
So potentially we're on 4 or 5, depending on the roll in a minute. I'll come back to the second. And the White Scars have scored 2 objectives, scoring them 4 points, and 3 kill points and 1 for attrition. So you're on 8 or 9, but you have a special rule. Tell us about it.
So the Death Seeker aspect of the Sagamazan Rite of War means basically my troops want to die. They are seeking death. On a roll of 1, 2, or 3, Rob will get the victory point for killing my Delegatus as it's a unit. On a 4 or a 5, no one scores a victory point. But on a 6, I score the victory point. So
all right, go for it. Give us a roll. So it's a 6.
For the Khan.
So, final score, World Eaters 4 and White Scars 9. Phew, I'm glad we got through that. It was quite an effort.
Good game. Thank you very much.
Right.
Oh, it's been a lively game, I'm not going to lie. Rob, let's start with the World Eaters. Tell me about your game. Tell me about your experience. Go for it.
Well, half the game I was chasing a lot, which obviously...
It was tough, wasn't it?
It was tough, yeah. It was
All
absolutely tough. And I made some horrific rolls as well to charge ranges and Overwatch.
Yeah.
But that's the way of the game with the dice. And it's been an absolutely fun game. And I think I'm going to call a rematch.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll try and set that up. I think it was only Contemptor that spent most of the time out of the game.
Oh, it did nothing.
But at least the Breachers and Delvaris got in though towards the end.
Yeah, obviously that's the whole point of why I take Delvaris, to try and get them challenges, because that's what he's famed for in Betrayer, going 27 rounds with 27 Marines. So he's really, whenever I take him, I'm always gunning for the Warlord as much as I can.
It's good.
For that challenges.
Yeah, it was well deserved. Johnny, tell me about the White Scars game.
White Scars, as I said at the beginning, war is all about maneuverability, and I think I was quite successful in kiting the World Eaters around and avoiding bad matchups for me. I did manage to make a really good kill box, killing the veterans, and then the timing was perfect for taking out the rest of the tactical squads, which were closing in on the second data point. It's a bit of a shame that a couple of our units didn't really have much of an impact on the game, but that's just the way the game goes. So, but no.
It was good. I think those assault troops really worked well for you. Just moving around the board, the jump packs, they got to where they needed to be.
Yeah, I did lose more to dangerous terrain rolls than I did to enemy action. But
shame.
I think at one point I did roll 3 ones and was almost going to lose a sergeant, so that would have been really bad. But no, I think I lost 3 out of the Lunar Wolves and the destroyers in total. So yeah, I didn't use the jetpacks as much as I would have done because I was fearing losing a lot more. So.
I think it worked really well. I think in hindsight, we perhaps should have played 1250 points on a 4x4. My only criticism of the Zone Mortalis rules is that you have to split half your force off. Sometimes they arrive later. We were really lucky you both got your reserves on quite early, but they still took time to get into the guts of the game. But
3 turns,
roughly, it was a bit tough
running rounds.
But we got there in the end, so I'm glad the Breaches and Delvaris got in because that was kind of a bit of a sort of crescendo right at the end. So it was very cool. But great to see Lunar Wolves allying with the White Scars. Loved that. Really great aesthetic.
Yeah, it's their oldest ally. So I think it was Horus and the Emperor who found the Khan. And then the Khan and Horus become best buds, best chums. It made sense to have the Lunar Wolves as allies in the Rite of War.
It was very cool. And that big blob of Breaches, though, they were so cool on the table. We've got some really great photos of those Breaches kind of bursting through the doors and stuff. But cool unit.
Yeah, they are cool. Yeah, it's just a shame they can't take close combat weapons, especially for World Eaters. But hopefully, Forger might. They might. They don't know.
Who knows?
Well, it would be very fluffy for them if they could take out their chain axes for bolt guns. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I mean, especially obviously it's quite one-dimensional because I'm basing them off the Triari, which is Delvaris and the 500 boarding specialists from the World Eaters.
Sure.
So obviously that's just my personal wish that they could take it, but it would be within the aesthetics of most legions, to be fair, for Breaches to be able to take a close combat because
they've got the Ultramarines who have the shield and the
Suzerains.
Yeah, so it's not unheard of, is it? So
it would be cool, and the Phalanx Warders as well from the Imperial Fist. They're a very cool unit with the axes and bits and bobs.
It just seems a bit restrictive for Breaches, given what they're about moving up a tight corridor, and once they get in close,
then
they'll just be
useless bolter.
Bonk. It's good. There has been a ton of photos taken from this game, so please go to the Facebook page. As always, when the game is released, we have a few mentions, gents, don't we?
Yeah.
We've had a special guest behind the camera today. He's been looking after my girlfriend's dog all day long, and as we speak, he stood with the dog in his arms.
He's not even on camera. He's got red.
Does this man have a name?
He does. Adam Kirby.
Jones.
He's been great. He's been really good with dice, handing dice out to these guys whilst they've been playing, and also with rules queries. So thank you so much for taking part and for keeping the dog, or the pest, as I call her, at bay. So thank you so much for doing that. We've got some Instagram to mention, though.
Yeah, I'm at JohnnyGG1981 on Instagram.
Great stuff.
And I'm Grizzly_Vegeta on Instagram.
Vegeta.
Okay.
They will be on the bottom of the screen if I've done my job. But don't forget you can go to the channel for photos as well. Gents, I have genuinely enjoyed myself today. Oh my God.
It's gonna step up for him.
And for me too.
You wouldn't believe how many short jokes there have been today. How many?
Descending order.
Yeah, we tried, like being the army, like tallest to shortest, but it's been a wild day, I'm not going to lie. I think we might set the rematch up.
It's been a lot of fun.
It'd be good fun,
Definitely.
Gents, thank you so much for your effort.
Thank you. Great host, as always.
My pleasure. And we will, excuse me. Oh, refusal. We will see you in the next game.